Okay, sorry about that, but it happens, it really does happen. Sorry, I ate a little bit of popcorn to weigh my stomach down a little, to put something back in there. Yeah, that was pretty powerful stuff there, I'd say. And we're just going to move it right along, unless, maybe I should talk about it. Yeah, because I think I kept forgetting to mention this before. I remember throwing up the first week, and it was like, no, I think I did say it somewhere in the videos back there. I threw up, and it was none but liquid, like spit, and it was a different kind. It was almost like I was expelling something out, and I just did it, and it happened. I started getting sick while I was reading this. I couldn't stop it, so I had to excuse myself, go brush teeth and get some more of something in there real quick. So I'm back, and let's move on. It's part of waking up. I forgot where I was at, to be quite honest with you, and I apologize, but this is raw. This is the way it is, and that's all I can say, is that it's raw, it's the way it is. And if I don't know any of these words, it's the way it is. I'm doing this. I picked up this book and I just started reading it. I don't care about names. If I get it wrong, screw it. Just keep moving on and push through it. You'll figure out the words as you go along. But then I'm trying to get that one right. I forgot to look it up before I even got on, because I'm just wanting to push through and just keep going. Just keep going. And I am going to meditate. But I want to push through this 7 times. I gotta push through it 7 times. Okay, here it is. Just need to find what exactly page I was on. I found the saying. Maybe I should just start over for the second time. Because like they say in meditation, what is it? Something to start over. Anyway, let's move on. I'm kind of intimidated because I threw up. It's intimidating to go back in. See, I think this is the horroring part of it. Some of the horror. You're expelling out something that's not supposed to be in you. Like, this is the true belief. Okay, so I'm going to put you back on Haunted, push forward, and then you can see what happens, but I'm not going to take you with me, go puke, man. You're the best. Hey, here we go, I need to pick up. You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna bring you down. reading the Book of the Dead, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Yay! Woo! Let's read on. The invocation of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Introduction of the officiant. The invoking of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas for assistance when anyone is dying is thus: offer up to the Trinity whatever actual offerings can be offered by the dying person or by his family, together with mentally created offerings, and holding in the hand sweet-smelling incense, repeat with great fervency the following: O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, abiding in the 10 directions, endowed with great compassion, endowed with foreknowledge, endowed with divine eye, devoured with love, affording protection in sentient beings, to sentient beings. Conducent through the power of your great compassion to come hither, conducent to accept these offerings actually laid out and mentally created. Ye compassionate ones, ye possesses the wisdom of understanding, the love of compassion, the power of doing divine deeds, and of protecting in incomprehensible measure. Ye compassionate ones, such and such as a person, a passing from this world to the world beyond. He is leaving this world. He is taking a great leap. No friends hath he. Misery is great. He is without defenders, without protectors, without forces and kinsmen. The light of this world hath set. He goeth to another place. He entereth thick darkness. He falleth down a steep precipice. He entereth into a jungle solitude. He is pursued by karmic forces. He goeth unto the vast silence. He is borne away by the great ocean. He is wafted on the wind of karma. He goeth in the direction of stability, existeth not. He is caught by the great conflict. He is obsessed by the great afflicting spirit. He is awed and terrified by the messenger of the Lord of Death, existing karma putting him into repeated existence. No strength hath he. He hath come upon a time when he hath gone alone. O ye compassionate ones, defend so and so who is defenseless. Protect him who is unprotected. Be his forces and his kinsmen. Protect him from the great gloom of the Bardo. Turn him from the red or storm wind of karma. Turn him from the great awe and terror of the Lord of Death. Save him from the long, narrow passage of the Bardo. O ye compassionate ones, let not force of your compassion be weak, but aid him. Let him not go into misery or miserable states of existence. Forget not your ancient vows, and let not the forces of your compassion be weak. O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, let not the might of your method of your compassion be weak towards this one. Catch him catch hold of him with the hook of your grace. Let not the sentient being fall under the power of the evil karma. O ye Trinity, protect him from the miseries of the Bardo. Saying this with great humility and faith, let thyself and all others present repeated it thrice. Third time. O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, abiding in the 10 directions, endowed with great compassion, endowed with foreknowledge, endowed with divine eye, endowed with love, affording protection of sentient beings, conducent through the power of their great compassion to come hither, conducent to accept these offerings actually laid out and mentally created. O ye compassionate ones, ye possesses the wisdom of understanding, the love of compassion, the power of doing divine deeds, and of protecting is comprehensible measure. Ye compassionate ones, such and such a person is passing from this world to the world beyond. He is leaving this world. He is taking a great leap. No friends hath he. Misery is great. He is without defenders, without protectors, without forces and kinsmen. The light of this world has set. He goeth to another place. He entereth thick darkness. He falleth down a steep precipice. He entereth into a jungle of solitude. He entereth into a jungle of solitude. He is pursued by karmic forces. He goeth into the vast silence. He is borne away by the great ocean. He is wafted on the wind of karma. He goeth in the direction where stability existeth not. He is caught by the great conflict. He is obsessed by the great afflicting spirit. He is awed and terrified by the messenger of the Lord Death. Existing karma putteth him into repeated existence. No strength hath he. He hath come upon a time when he hath to go alone. O ye compassionate ones, defend so and so, who is defenseless, put him who is unprotected, be his forces in, protect him from the great gloom of the Bardo, turn him from the red or storm, wind or karma, turn him from the great awe of terror of the Lord of Death. Save him from the long, narrow passage away from the Bardo. O ye compassionate ones, let the force of your compassion be weak. Be aid to him. Let him not go into misery or the miserable state of existence. Forget not your ancient vows, and let not the force of your compassion be weak. O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, let not the might of the method of your compassion be weak towards this one. Catch hold of him with the hook of your grace. Look not the sentient being fall under the power of evil karma. O ye Trinity, protect him from the miseries of the Bardo. Saying this with great humility and faith, let thyself and all others present repeat it thrice. Fourth time. And I'm going to repeat the whole thing now. The invoking of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas for assistance when anyone is dying is thus: offer up to the Trinity whatever actual offerings can be offered by the dying person or by the family, together with the mentally created offerings, and holding in the hand sweet-smelling incense, repeat with great fervency the following: O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, abiding to the 10 directions, endowed with great compassion, endowed with foreknowledge, endowed with divine eye, endowed with love, affording protection to sentient beings, condescient through the power of your great compassion to come hither, condescent to accept these offerings actually laid out and mentally created. O ye compassionate ones, ye possess the wisdom of understanding, the love of compassion, the power of doing divine deeds and protecting in incomprehensible measure. Ye compassionate ones, such and such a person is passing from this world to the world beyond. He is leaving this world. He is taking a leave. No friends hath he. Misery is great. He is without defenders, without protectors, without forces and kinsmen. The light of this world has set. He goeth to another place. He entereth thick darkness. He falleth down a steep precipice. He entereth into a jungle solitude. He is pursued by karma's force, karmic forces. He goeth into the vast silence. He is borne away by the great ocean. He is wafted by the wind of karma. He goeth in the direction where stability existeth not. He is caught by the great conflict. He is obsessed by the great afflicting spirit. He is awed and terrified by the messenger of the Lord Death, existing karma, putting him into repeated existence. No strength has he. He hath come upon a time when he hath to go alone. O ye compassionate ones, defend so and so, so is defenseless. Protect him who is unprotected. Be his forces, his kinsmen. Protect him from the great gloom of the bardo. Turn him red or storm, wind of karma. Turn him from the great awe and terror of the Lord of Death. Save him from the long, narrow passage of the bardo. O ye compassionate ones, let not the force of your compassion be weak, but aid him. Let him not go into misery or the miserable states of existence. Forget not your ancient vows, and let not the force of your compassion be weak. O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, let not the method of your compassion be weak towards this one. Catch hold of him with the hook of your grace. Let not sentient beings fall under the power of karma. O ye Trinity, protect him from the miseries of the bardo. Saying this with great humility and faith, let thyself and all others present repeated thrice. 5. 5. I offer this creation. I hold in hand sweet incense. O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, abiding in the 10 directions, endowed with great passion, endowed with foreknowledge, endowed with divine eye, endowed with love, affording protection to sentient beings, ascending through the power of their great compassion to come hither. Condescent to accept these offerings actually laid out and mentally created. I offer this, and I hold this. I'm going to go ahead and reread that. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, abiding in the 10 directions, endowed with great compassion, endowed with foreknowledge, endowed with divine eye, endowed with love, affording protection to sentient beings, condescent through the power of your great compassion to come hither, condescent to accept these offerings actually laid out and mentally created. O ye compassionate ones, ye possesses the wisdom of understanding, the love of compassion, the power of doing divine deeds and protecting in incomprehensible measure. Ye compassionate ones, such and such a person is passing from this world to the world beyond. He who is living in this world, he who is taking a great leap, no friends hath he. Misery is great. He is without defenders, without protectors, without forces and kinsmen. The light of this world has set. Hello. Reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead. My name is Nanya. Welcome to the community channel. If you're one of us, it's your community. So have at all your channels in here. I've collected them because I was put here to welcome, and that's my creation, is this channel and what I'm doing with myself to be able to use my powers to help people with their powers of things like the Tibetan Book of the Dead talks about. Very, very powerful stuff, I gotta say. So I'm going to continue. I have to read this 7 times, thrice. So if you want to leave and come back later, that's fine. But this is something that I'm doing raw, and I'll keep taking breaks and talking with you if you want, you know. But I just want to kind of get through this this initiation, basically, this challenge of finding us out and who we are, and the things that you have to go through in order to get there, like in the last video of the reading. It affected me, and I got sick. And I came back, though. Came back strong. So here I am. I'm back on my 5th round, going on 7. And we'll see what happens at 7. I'm going to sit down and meditate. I'll take you with me if you want, and I'll take off the version here. But right now I need this version because this gets pretty emotional. And I snot, you know, and I cry. Because this is very powerful stuff whenever you read it right. And it flows right within you. And you can watch and observe the flow of this and see if it flows with you. So here we go. I'm in the middle of this. So I'm just going to continue on the 5th round in the middle. He goeth to another place. He entereth into darkness. He falleth down a steep precipice. He entereth into a jungle, solitude. He is pursued by karmic forces. He goeth into the vast silence. He is borne away by the great ocean. He is wafted by the wind of karma. He goeth in the direction of stability, existeth not. He is caught by the great conflict. He is obsessed by the great afflicting spirit. He is awed and terrified by the messenger of the Lord Death. Existing karma putteth him into repeated existence. No strength has he. He hath come upon a time when he hath to go alone. O ye compassionate ones, defend so-and-so who is defenseless. Protect him who is unprotected. Be his force and his kinsman. Protect him from the great gloom of the bardo. Turn him from red or storm, wind or karma. Turn him from the great awe and terror of the Lord Death. Save him from the long, narrow passageway of the bardo. O ye compassionate ones, let not the force of your compassion be weak, but aid him. Let him not go into misery or the miserable state of existence. Forget not your ancient vows, and let not the force of your compassion be weak. O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, let not the might of the method of your compassion be weak towards this one. Catch hold of him with a hook of your grace. Let not the sentient being fall under the power of evil karma. O ye Trinity, protect him from the miseries of the bardo. Saying this with great humility and faith, let thyself and others, all others, present, repeat it thrice. 6. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this part because you wasn't here for this part. The invocation of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Instructions to the officiant. The invoking of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas for assistance when anyone is dying is thus: offer up the Trinity, whatever actual offerings can be offered by the dying person or by his family, together with mentally created offerings, and holding in the hand sweet-smelling incense, repeat with great fervency the following: O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, abiding to the 10 directions, endowed with great compassion, endowed with foreknowledge, endowed with divine eye, endowed with love, affording protection to sentient beings, ascending through the power of your great compassion to come hither, condescend to accept these offerings actually laid out and mentally created. O ye compassionate ones, ye possess the wisdom of understanding, the love of compassion, the power of doing divine deeds and protecting in incomprehensible measure. Ye compassionate ones, such and such a person is passing from this world and the world beyond. He is leaving this world. He is taking a great leap. No friends hath he. Misery is great. He is without defender, without protectors, without forces, and without kinsmen. The light of this world has set. He goeth to a place, another place. He entereth thick darkness. He falleth down a steep precipice. He entereth into a jungle solitude. He is pursued by karmic forces. He goeth into the vast silence. He is borne away by the great ocean. He is wafted by the wind of karma. He goeth in the direction where stability existeth not. He is caught by the great conflict. He is obsessed by the great afflicting spirit. He is awed and terrified by the messenger of the Lord of Death. Existing karma putteth him into repeated existence. No strength has he. He hath come upon a time when he hath to go alone. O ye compassionate ones, defend so-and-so who is defenseless. Protect him who is unprotected. Be his forces, and his kinsmen. Protect him from the great gloom of the bardo. Turn him from the red or storm wind of karma. Turn him from the great awe and terror of the Lord of Death. Save him from the long, narrow passageway of the bardo. O ye compassionate ones, let not the force of your compassion be weak, but aid him. Let him not go into misery or miserable states of existence. Forget not your ancient vows, and let not the force of your compassion be weak. O ye Buddhas and Bhistavas, let not the might of your method of your compassion be weak towards this one. Catch hold of him and with the hook of your grace. Let not the sentient being fall under the power of evil karma. O ye Trinity, protect him from the miseries of the bardo. Saying this with great humility and faith, let thyself and all others present repeat it thrice. Am I on 7? Am I on 7 or 6? Oh, fudge! Pardon my ignorance. Seven. The invoking of Buddhas. I don't need to read that again. O ye Buddhas and Bhistavas, abiding in the 10 directions, endowed by great compassion, endowed with forked knowledge, endowed with divine eyes, endowed with love, affording protection to sentient beings. Conducient through the power of your great compassion to come hither. Conducent to accept these offerings actually laid out and mentally created. O ye compassionate ones, ye possesses the wisdom of understanding, the love of compassion, the power of doing divine deeds, and protecting in incomprehensible measure. Ye compassionate ones, such and such a person is passing from this world to the world beyond. He is leaving this world. He is taking a leap. No friends hath he. Misery is great. He is without defenders, without protectors, without forces, and without kinsmen. The light of this world hath set. He goeth to a place, another place. He entereth thick darkness. He falleth down a steep precipice. He entereth into a jungle solitude. He is pursueth by karmic forces. He goeth into the vast silence. He is borne away by the great ocean. He is wafted by the wind of karma. He goeth in the direction of where stability existeth not. He is caught by the great conflict. He is obsessed by the great flicking spirit. He is awed and terrified by the messenger of the Lord Death. Existing karma putteth him into the repeated existence. No strength has he. He hath come upon a time when he hath to go alone. O ye compassionate ones, defend so-and-so who is defenseless. Protect him who is unprotected. Be his forces and his kinsmen. Protect him from the great gloom of the Bordeaux. Turn him from the red or storm wind of karma. Turn him from the great awe and terror of the Lord of Death. Save him from the long, narrow passage of the Bordeaux. O ye compassionate ones, let not the forces of your compassion be weak, but aid him. Let him not go into misery for the miserable states of existence. Forget not your ancient vows, and let not the force of your compassion be weak. O ye Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, let not the might of their method of your compassion be weak towards this one. Catch hold of him with the hook of your grace. Let not the sentient being fall under the power of evil karma. O ye Trinity, protect him with the miseries of the Bordeaux. 7 times done. That was just a little tiny piece of what I'm about to taste here with this book. I know it's for death, but there is a lot of death happening in the world right now. And I am dying from this world, I think, because I keep transcending into that next level, and I am about to do that right now. Hello? Hope you're having a fine night. We're going to take a break from that. There we go. Now I'll be right back. Sorry about that. All right, let's chill. Just for a minute, you know. I just want to soak all that in. I just got done with a big piece of that book, I think. I think that was the emotional hump of it. And I just want to relax for a minute. Eat some popcorn, refill my stomach from getting sick earlier from reading that. You know, expelling all the bad stuff in me. I guess, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking it was. Because I'd done it whenever I first transcended. And it wasn't normal. It was like spit. It was just a bunch of spit. Kind of like, it reminded me of that black goo that they talk about that you spit out. At first, whenever it was happening, I thought I was going to do that. I just forgot about it. I think I mentioned it in a video, and I just never really touched base with that one. So that one was a new one for me to bring out today. I think it was a long time ago I brought it up once. And then just kind of forgot about it. Until tonight, whenever it happened again. So I'm just reading this Tibetan Book of the Dead. I'm trying to uplift myself from this world and try to go into the next. Because my time is coming. I'm not dying or anything, but I'm being told that I need to do this. I need to be here and welcome everyone. And while I'm sitting here, I may as well learn something and welcome people. So here I am in your channel that I dedicated to you guys in the community. Anyone who believes in this stuff. There's a slew of people in there. There's Wayne Steiger, Jeff Doherty, a lot of Anya. Anya is really good. I just met her, and she actually opened up a door for me. It wasn't anything that she worked on me with. That she was just on Steiger, and she came to my chat, and both her and I were really eager to get connected for some reason, and yeah, I think I know her from another lifetime. Sapphire, I think I remember you. I don't know from where. Because I go to a lot of these live streams and just pluck people out. And people who I think that have the shine or the click or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what I'm doing, That's why I'm here welcoming and letting the professionals handle it in the channels, And there's a few inexperienced people, and, just people that are going through the same thing, and people like you. So yeah, if you have a creation, definitely, post it up. That way we can see it, because that's what this is all about, is creating, Just like that book said, you got to create in order to advance into that next realm. Show your creation to everyone. That way the people who love you the most will know what to do at your funeral, and you can be, it's just, you don't even have to, I don't even think you need it by other people, myself. I think that what I just did it, and now I need to meditate. So welcome, and that's basically what this channel is all about, and I just sit here and welcome people all day whenever I have time, and I do stupid stuff, and try to walk my dogs and read. I like variety. I'm a jack of all trades, so I like to learn everything, but then yet learn one thing in particular. I like palmistry, so I think I'm going to learn that, and I think I'm going to offer that within this channel whenever I get there, just like other people have gotten there with their tarot cards and their remote viewing and astrology and all that good stuff. Yeah, there's lots of people in there. Soul foods too, man. I stole positive movements because I didn't think about the taste and senses and stuff, So I stole some of the positive movements people. and brought them over here so that they can experience some of our people, you know, different sectors. It works great, you know, to commune. Because we may have run into each other on the other side and things, you know, like Anya. I'm starting to see that the people I seen that I came in this with, and they kind of just like followed, you know, it's like we all just kind of wound up in the same spot here. And yeah, it feels like I know them, not just from here, but since Anya opened up that door for me, it feels like I know him. So I think that this stuff might be real. Especially with the stuff I'm experiencing on a day-to-day basis, on a minute-to-minute, second-to-second. You know, all down to the negative energies, you know, trying to get you, trying to feed off your energy, as per se, as Daugherty would say, Daugherty, or whatever. So basically, you just take what you will, whatever faith you have, you know, whatever. I can talk about my faith, but I don't think I perfected it yet. But I think Ascendings, I think I agree with the Ascendings version. Ascending beings, his channel is up there. He's all with nature. And because of an experience I had in it was after meditating, and I transcended. And I was doing one of these numbers one night, you know, where I came on a bunch of times and then came on in the middle of the night. And a cricket came up and kept coming up while I was sitting on the floor down there after meditation. Came up and I kept going like this, trying to get it away, and it just kept coming back. So I put my hand down there so he can climb on it, and he bit it. And I went, ooh, because it hurt. It literally pinched it. And I flipped it up in the air, and I felt bad, you know. I'm like, oh, poor cricket. And not even 30 seconds later, then something started squawking outside. I'm like, holy cow, you know, is it a possum that has rabies? So I grabbed the broom and I went over there, and it was on the outside, thank goodness. And I came back over here and sat down, and the moth went. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I felt it. That negative coming in this area of mine. And it was pretty negative. I know exactly who it was. And so I banished it and did a few things, and my posse, you know, on the channel here helped me out, because I think that they realized what was going on, even though they didn't know, or I think they probably knew, because the whole chat went wonky. Like the top went down to the bottom, and at least that's what my mom was telling me she's seen on her end, was the whole chat just went and the top went down to the bottom real fast. And it was just crazy. So, yeah, nature. It's trying to warn me there. It's about to bite me in the ass. Oh, I'm so sorry. Not really. But I am. Because I know I'm not supposed to cuss on this channel. You can scald me if you want. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of trying to fill back up what I chucked out. And two, I'm trying to think of something to talk about. Kind of hard sitting here and conversing with someone, especially observers like yourself, because we kind of like I'm all by myself. But that's alright, I'm used to it. I'm cool with it. I was made to do this, actually. I'm just hypnotizing myself here. Oops. I'll put away the popcorn now. I know how aggravating that is. Having somebody chew and chew and chew. It's stale anyway. Yeah. So that was pretty powerful, that book. I'm going to get back to it here in a little bit. Read some more and then meditate. Maybe get done with the chapter or something. So I hope you're having a fine day. And I'll get back to it, I promise. I just want to chill out for a minute. That was Saltin'. I love whenever books, come to life, but man, that's going pretty deep. Pretty deep. That's for sure. And I'm sorry I cried like a baby. But 7 times is an awful many times to experience that kind of empathy. In many different ways. Because I have a huge imagination. Whenever I dreamt before all this happened, I don't dream anymore. But whenever I dreamt, man, it was so vivid. So vivid. I had dreams of like this big old ugly looking Edom bot looking, I don't even know. It was all like Slimer or something, off Ghostbusters. In a maze. This is whenever I was little. And it was just so nasty whenever it got up my nose and in my mouth, because it would slam into me and run over me. And it just tasted so terrible. And I keep dreaming it was like a recurring dream. Sometimes I wonder about dreams, like if they're, like if people are talking right about dreams. Some people out there like Jeff Doherty and Global Witness, they were saying stuff about like this is death and our life is in the sleep, like in the dream. Now don't get me wrong, we have to experience this in order to get to that. So that seems to kind of make sense to me because I'm a very, very vivid dreamer, and fear is in a lot of my dreams, and I'm a very empathetic person, and I'm very intuitive. I've been living the Tao my whole life and didn't even know it. Didn't know what it was called. Doing the Tai Chi, didn't know what it was called. And here I am from 1970 something to now. And I just woke up. So that's where I'm at. So I am pretty knowledgeable with empathy and the whole healing thing. So it does seem to make sense to me that dreams would have an effect on that fear factor and the empathy involved in that, and the effect that it would have in your life, and how that would taint it and alter it in certain ways and make you think differently. But I always liked my dreams. Not all of them. Not that one, where I got run over by that thing, or the one with the doll with the glowing eyes. That one was really scary. I don't know where I got this doll, but it had these big old eyes, like the, what do you call them, My Precious something or another, dolls, or, anyway, it was one of them kind, but it wasn't a My Precious Moments doll, it was something else. This is a doll, like a cheap doll, and, ever since I got this doll, I started having these really terrible dreams about the bed shaking. First, it was just the bed shaking. Are you live? Johan! Hey! How are you? Darling? Yeah, I'm just chilling, man. I've been reading that Tibetan Book of the Dead, and I've been waking up, and I've done throw up from it, and it's been, yeah, a ride. It's been a big ride. Who is here? Who's the one? Hanging in there. So you're still here, so that one left. They were a new one. K. Sufer. I'm gonna have to check out their channel. Sufer. Need to look at it one more time. Santa. I just need to remember Santa Fe. There we go. Santa Fe. Sorry about that. I just wanted to check that person out. I think it's a her, actually. Anyway. Yeah, I was reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and it went to the back, to the appendix, and there was like this ceremonial prayer for whenever somebody dies, and we are dying, so why not read it 7 times to myself so that I know I'm headed in the right place. And I started reading it in the middle of the 5th and a half, man. I puked. But it was weird, because it was like I forgot about this in the beginning of all this. I think it was about a week and a half, 2 weeks into it, of lifting out and ascending. Yeah, I know. I'm used to it, though. But, it was weird, because before, whenever I transcended out, like 2 weeks after, I remember that I was in the back and I just got sick all of a sudden. And it was after something that I was aware of, too, like listening to Wayne or listening to Jeff. And I was walking, I was trying to make it to the bathroom, and I didn't quite make it. And it was like spit. It wasn't like normal puke, it was just spit. That's all it was. And I had coffee and everything else, and it was just spit. That's all it was. And I thought that was weird, because it reminded me, because I really literally thought I was going to puke up some black stuff with the way it was happening, because I was like, shaking and stuff. I'm sneezing all of a sudden. I always wonder what that means. No, but this was like a different kind of, like almost like I was ejecting some of the knowledge out of my, you know what I mean? Like it was just spewing it out. And then I had a bunch of water, so I was able to, because I knew I was going to do it. And I just wanted to make sure I was, plenty. Anyway, I'll get off that subject. I just thought that was weird. Neat to point out, in a way. Because with me, I'm going through it, and it's important that, the others see what it's like, what they need to do, really. And this book may not be later on. Maybe my face will be. Global Witness, he's offered to help people with YouTube channels, and I need that, so I'll be watching him more often because he's supposed to do something with that. So that will help me, with knowing how to run this stuff. Because what we're doing is kind of different, I don't read. I just get downloads, so I know what I know. I just can't explain it. Yeah, me too. I just read, and if something is resonating, then yeah, that's what it is with me. Same with everyone. And I love that, It's diversity and love, and it shows a lot of love to be diverse and to be accepting of that. Well, you're more than welcome to read with me. I'm not too far into it. I just got done reading that appendix thing. I'm not real far into it. I just started it, and it just threw me into the appendix, so that tells you how complicated it's going to get and how emotional it's going to get. I'm reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead in case the other person is not the same person who came in a while ago and you're new and you just stopped in. I'm Nunya, and Johan is in the house, and we were both discussing the Book of the Dead and how she would like to read, and I was just telling her that I'm not too far into it, that I'm only in the appendix right now. The beginning I can just read over again. It's not that complicated. I have a short attention span. I drift off. I can't stay focused. Try me. Seriously. Sometimes I can get to people, especially whenever I believe in something. I find a way to voice with my voice. My voice is it. I don't know. Somebody had told me once, a doctor had told me once, that I should go into something with the transcendence with the voice, like meditation or getting somebody grief counseling or something of that nature. Okay, go for it. All right, hang on. I'll get back to it. I was just taking a break, man, because that was pretty heavy. Pretty heavy stuff there that I had to just read. Let me find this cord before I unplug this one. Oh, I'm sitting here in the dark, because I had to unplug one to get to the other. I'll tell you what, this is the way I'm going to do it. Unplug the phone. There we go. Wrong one. But that's okay, that was too loud anyway. I like the strobe light. Let's get into it, shall we? The Chaki Bordeaux and the Chianan Bordeaux. Herein lieth the setting face to face to the reality of the intermediate state, the great deliverance by hearing while on the after-death plane from the profound doctrine of the emancipated of the consciousness by Meditation upon the peaceful and wrathful deities. And that's the introduction. I just want the book. Pink. No, that is it. Okay. Let me make sure. I just don't look familiar. For some reason. Probably because I do need to reread it, I bet. Yeah. Okay, I'm here. Alright. So there's a death messenger right here. It's like a little... Here, I'll show you. I don't know what to call that. It's called Death Messenger. All they who thoughtless are nor he. What time is Death Messenger appear? Must long the pangs of suffering feel, in some base body habiting. But all those good and holy men, what time they see Death's messenger, behave not thoughtless, but give heed to what the noble doctrine says, and and in attachment frightened see of birth or death the fertile source, and from attachment free themselves, thus birth and death extinguishing. Secure and happy ones are they, released from all these fleeting show, exempting from all sin and fear, all misery have they overcome. And that was by somebody, and I can't pronounce the name. Boop. Hello. Let me see what's going on in here. Someone is watching us. Hello. Don't be a stranger. Tee. It's Johan for you. You read, and I'll teach you to pronounce. Great. That's perfect. Because I need that. And we'll work together on this. That is perfect. Because I have such a hard time with some of these words. My gosh. I tell you what. Introductory sections. And hello. Second wheel. I just don't want to poke at you too much there. Say deities, 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 deities. Deities. There we go. Introductory sections. See that now? See now, this is what you need. You see how that works? I love it. I love whenever people are given to me and they help me and I help them. You're good. I love it. Teamwork. Yeah, it does keep you interested, doesn't it? That teamwork. You're probably over there. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. You're going to be doing that a lot with me. You should have seen me read that appendix. Boot. I can't even pronounce it. Let me go back and look at it. That was funny. This one is funny. Bohistivas. It's Bodhisattvas. Bohistivas. She says spell it, and I did. I could reread this one more time. I liked it a lot. It was very compassionate and fulfilling. That's pretty good. Oh, cool. Yeah, I worked hard on that one. I let the no kind of guide me on that one. I was working hard with the no on that one. I'm over here. Buddha. I was getting tongue-tied. All right. I will reread. I'll reread that whenever it comes in the section here. Sorry, I got popcorn in my teeth. I got a bar over here, and they get pretty loud. Sorry. Introductory sections. The 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 obsessience. OBEISANCES. Obscent. Or what's that word? Let me pronounce that EI like I did over here, and maybe I'll get it. Where is that? Where was that? No, I got an ambulance. An ambulance. That was a very funny story. One time, some guy told me he fell asleep underneath the ambulance, and he said ambulance. And I started laughing, and I loved it because that's my old school living in the hood. Everybody calling them ambulances. Anyway, let me move on. I don't think I'm going to get that one. When I used to read King James Bible, I would learn to pronounce. I would learn to read it till I hit it perfect. Then true meaning would come to me. Yeah, I'm just trying to get through it. I need to go. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. I know it will. Because I'm ready, I'm ready for this information to be inputted, and it'll come throughout the rest of the text, I believe. It'll come. Because even though I don't know what this word is, the whole paragraph kind of explains what it is. You know what I mean? So I don't need to know the word. I just know what it is. And I think it all works out. Baby. Sirens means he is here, so I heard. Ooh, right on. I love challenges. All right. To the divine body of truth, the incomprehensible boundless light, to the divine body of perfect endowment, who are the lotus and the peaceful and the wrathful deities. Deities, that was the word. Obeisance, answers, obsescient, I don't know. I don't think I can get it. To the lotus-born incarnation, Padma Sambhava, who is the protector of all sentient beings, to the gurus the three bodies, obsessience. The introduction, this great doctrine. Let me see what you're saying over here. Start over. When was that? 28. 20. Wait a minute. That says 27. 28. It was like a minute ago. Okay, I already reread it. All right. I'll read it all over. Okay. To the divine body of truth, the incomprehensible boundless light, to the divine body of perfect endowment, who are the lotus and the peaceful and the wrathful deities. To the lotus-born incarnation, Padma Sambhava, who is the protector of all sentient beings. To the Gurus, the three bodies, obeisance. This great doctrine of liberation by hearing, which conferreth spiritual freedom of devotees, of ordinary wit, while the intermediate state hath three divisions: the preliminaries, the subject matter, and the conclusion. At first, the preliminaries, the guide series for emancipating beings, should be mastered by practice. The transference of consciousness principle. By the guide, the highest intellects ought most certainly to be liberated, but should not be liberated then while in the intermediate state of the movements of death. They should not practice the transference, which giveth automatic liberation by one's merely remembering it. Devotees of ordinary wit ought most certainly to be freed thereby. Let me see what you're saying over here. Okay. But should they not be free, then while in the intermediate state, during the experiencing of reality, they should persevere in the listening of this great doctrine of liberation by hearing. According to the devotee, should at first examine the symptoms of death as they gradually appear in his dying body, following self-liberation, by observing the characteristics of the symptoms of death. Then when all the symptoms of death are completed, he should apply the transference, which conferreth liberation by merely remembering the process. There is a little section down here that I think I should read about the deities are in ourselves. They are not something a part of us. You see, it's like a little small writing way down there at the bottom. But then the text kept going on to the other page, so I thought I'd keep going to the other page. Finish that. These deities are in itself. They are not something a part of us. We are not one, or we are one with all that is, and every state in sentient existence. From the lowest worlds are suffering to the highest states of bliss, to the perfect enlightenment. In this esoteric sense, the lotus order, or deities, represented to defied principles, sorry, it's so small, it's hard to read, principles of the vocal functions in ourselves, the peaceful representation of defied principles of the heart or functions of feeling, the wrathful presence in the same way, the functions of our mentality, such as thinking and reasoning and imagining or memory, centered in the brain. Lama Kuzi Dawa. And that it says to see P 1015. I don't know nothing about this stuff, so I'm just going to keep going. I think that's explanation enough. I don't think I need to see where it came from, because I'm sure I'm going to run across it. So Padma Sadhava, the lotus born, referring to the birth under pure and holy conditions, commonly called by the Tibetans Guru Rinpoche. The Princess Guru, or simply Guru, the Sanskrit for teacher, is regarded by the followers as an incarnation of the essence of the Buddha, Shakya Muni, in its tantric or deeply esoteric aspect. I'm listening to you. You're doing a good job. Thank you. The guide series refer to various treatises offering practically guidance to devotees on the Bodhi path through the human world and thence through Bardo, the after-death state, and onward to rebirth or else to nirvana. And that's where I were. That's me. That's where I'm gonna go. The text contains merely the Tibetan word Pho, meaning in the intermediate states of the moment of death, they should practice the transference, which giveth automatic liberation by one's merely remembering it. Devotees of ordinary wit ought most certainly to be freed thereby, but should they not be free, then while in the intermediate state, during the experiencing of reality, they should persevere in the listening to this great doctrine of liberation by hearing. According to the devotee, should at first examine the symptoms of death as they gradually appear in his dying body, following self-liberation. Oh, I already read that. And you're probably saying it. Well, I read it once already, or actually 2 times, 4 times. I forget. Nah. It's okay. It's alright if I reread it. It's good for you guys. Oh. Okay, so then when all symptoms of death are complete, he should apply the transference which covereth liberation by merely remembering the process. Talks about transference down under that in those little bitty letters I was saying, that I showed you. A transference of a sum total or aggregate or karmic propensities composing or bound up with personality and consciousness. The use of the term soul being objectionable, since Buddhism as a whole denies the existence of the permanent, exchanging personal consciousness entities such as a Semitic faiths and animistic creeds in general understand thereby. And animistic creeds in general understand thereby. The translator has avoided using it. But however, any similar or equivalent term occurs herein, it should be taken to imply something akin to consciousness principle or compound of consciousness, as applied by the Tibetan Bo, or else a synonyms with the terms life flux. I've read 1/3 of the book as I read 1/3 of the book and was off in Neverland with my thoughts, yet I didn't miss reading a single word. That's cool. I like listening to Wayne and just sitting in the background, on certain things and letting it, just like putting in the headphones, like doing dishes and, not commenting and just listening to somebody read. If it's not important, maybe it's all important, but you know what I mean. If it's not important to me at the time, like this is, and like the Hermetica and like the Tao, those are 3 important ones to me. And this new one I got with the yoga that was given. And yeah, and those are really important to me. So I want to be able, well, with me in college, if I were to go up to the library and not library, whenever I would go up to the Steak and Shake with my friend to study, I would have a recorder sitting there, and I would record myself reading the text, and then I would sit down and look at the text and read it with myself, silently, and I would retain it better. Think of reading like poetry. I can listen to Wayne and Rex and Jeff, but when they read, if it's not poetic, I can't concentrate. Yeah, I hear you. And I try, this stuff is really complicated, and I do try, but I just thought I'd have you test it out, and see if I flowed with you, you never know. It doesn't hurt to always try somebody and see if it works and see if it doesn't work. But I'm just going to keep on reading, keep on chugging along. You can listen to it in the background. I use my ears. I'm bad in English. Tell me about it. You hear me chopping up these darn words over here. Deities. I knew it was deities. I just got confused while I was reading because, Too, it's kind of hard in front of audience. This is actually my first time reading in front of the audience. These, the Tao and that. I mean, I read to kids before, like little kid books, but never to an audience. So this is different, being on this side of things. English was my worst subject. I hear you. I hear you. I was really bad at spelling, but I try. I do try now to spell, now that I'm older and I understand the reason of why I need it. So I tried to look at a dictionary every day and pick out a word. That was my theory on it, just pick out a word every day and like set it in your napkins or something. My friend, she had these napkins that she showed me. They had meanings of words on it, for every time you took a napkin out, you'd be able to see a new word. That was fun. Where am I at? Liberation in this context does not necessarily imply, especially in the case of the average devotee, the liberation of nirvana, but chiefly a liberation of the life flux. No, I'm sorry, I missed a paragraph. Let me go back to the life flux as chiefly by the Southern Buddhist. A Tibetan work of the Bardo cycle, commonly used by a Lamos as supplementary to the Bardo, the doll, and it says see part 9, note 1, page 71, part 9. I think I tried to look this up before. I don't think I found it right away, and I just moved on. I'll try one more time. Let's see part 2. 2. Part 2. That's all I see is part 2. I wonder if that's a different book or something, because I don't see a part 9 anywhere, and I looked earlier and I couldn't find it either. It treats of the symptoms of death in particular, scientifically, and in very great detail. The late Lama Kaza Dawa Samdop had planned its translation into English. Liberation in this context does not necessarily imply, especially in the case of the average devotee, the liberation of nirvana, but chiefly a liberation of the life flux from the dying body in such manner as will afford the greatest possible after-death consciousness and consequent happy rebirth. Contact's going wonky. Yet for the very exceptional and the very highly efficient yogi, kind of almost looks like an F, or saint, the same historic process of transference can be, according to the Lama Gurus, so employed as to prevent any break in the flow of the stream of consciousness. From the moment of consciousness, death is death to the moment of the conscious rebirth. Judging from the translation made from the late Lama Kazi Dawa Samdap of an old Tibetan manuscript containing practical directions for performing the transference, which the editor processes. The process is essentially yogi. Yogu, and could be employed only by a person trained in mental concentration or one-pointedness of the mind, in which a high degree of proficiency as to have gained control over all mental and bodily functions, merely remembering the process of the all-important moment of death, as the text implies, is for the yogis equivalent to performing the transference itself, for once the yogi's trained mind is redirected to the process instantaneously, or as the text explains, automatically, the desired result is achieved. That was a lot. Okay, it goes on to the introductory sections. The reading of this, the doll. In the transference hath, let me check this, sorry. Johan, you have a good night, hun, and have a good sleep. And I love you too. Mwah. And I will read on. I'm here. And I'm square, so get used to it. That's my nickname for you. Angel. Hair of light. Yeah, I'm trying to get it all white. That's been my goal forever now. Forever and a day. About 4 years. Been trying to get it all white. Haven't found anything that works, but somebody suggested something and we'll try it here pretty soon. So we'll see if that works. Once I get money, I gotta have money for those things. And I don't even know if I want to spend money on it. I just want to get the shampoo, the purple shampoo that's really cheap. Because I'm a cheapo. But have sweet dreams. And you haven't heard anything from Just a Human, have you? By any chance? Because I haven't seen anything. And I was looking in the chat rooms and checking on his site, and he was in the hospital with a heart attack, and I was just concerned that that he left us, and I'm gonna miss him if he did, and I need to know. So I was wondering if he's seen anything. No, I guess not. They left. All right, let's get down to it. I guess it's meant that I don't know. Oh, I'm here. Okay. If the transference hath been efficiently, effectually, oh boy. Oh boy. If the transference hath been effectually employed, if the transference hath been effectual, it's that hath that's getting me. That word hath. If the transference has been effectually employed, there is no need to read this thou. But if the transference hath not been effectually employed, then the thou is to be read correctly and distinctively near the dead body. If there be no corpse, then the bed or the seat to which the deceased has been accustomed should be occupied by the reader, who ought to expound the power of the truth. Then summoning the spirit of the deceased, imagine it to the present they're listening to and read. During this time, no relative or fond mate should be allowed to weep or to wail, as such is not good for the deceased. So restrain them. If the body be present just when the expiration hath ceased, either a Lama who hath been as a guru to the deceased, or a brother in the faith whom the deceased has trusted, or a friend whom the deceased has great affection, putting the lips close to the ear of the body without actually touching it, should read this great Vidal. And the little text goes on to read down at the bottom there. I stopped at the process instantaneously, or the text explains automatically the desired result is achieved. And it goes on to say, the Lama or reader stationed in the house of the deceased as directed, whether the corpse be there or not. is to summon the departed one in the name of truth, saying, as the Trinity is true, and as the true proclaimed by the Trinity is true, by the power of that truth, I summon thee. Although no corpse be at hand, as there would not be when a person had met a violent or an accidental death, entailing loss or destruction of the human plain body, or when, to accord with astrological calculations, the body has been removed or disposed of immediately after death, a not uncommon event in Tibet. The spirit of the deceased in the invisible Bardo plain body must nevertheless be present at the reading in order to be given the necessary guide through the other world, as the Egyptian Book of the Dead also directs. And I don't know if I believe that. Because like it says, what happens if you're murdered? Or it's an accidental death and no one's around to say this to you? That's not fair. And that's not my world. So I reject that. But I like the fact, of the planes and all that, transcendence and all. But I think they may have gotten that one a little bit raw, you know. But this one up here says something about if there is no corpse, then the bed or the seat in which the deceased has been accustomed should be occupied. So I wonder if it's in this book somewhere about that and explains it further. This prohibition is found in Brahmanism too. According to the Tibet and Amharic belief, the body of the dying person should not be touched, that the normal departure of consciousness principle which should take place through the Brahmanic aperture on the crown of the head be not interfered with. So don't touch the top of the head. And I pointed something out earlier whenever I read that, and I don't know if you were here for that, but I'm say it again. That is kind of weird that, you have a soft spot here and they're talking about it there. Maybe that was their translation for the soft spot. That you're not supposed to touch the top of the head because of that soft spot. Possibility of just people being people. Or otherwise, the departure may be brought about through some other bodily aperture that lead to birth in one of the non-human states. For example, if it is held that the departure is through the aperture of the ear, the deceased will be obligated. He can return to human birth, to be born in the world of the Gandharvas, fairy-like, celestial musicians, near in sound, as in song and music, is the prevailing quality of existence. Whew. The practical application of the thought by the officiant. And we're still on the Tibetan Book of the Dead, Book 1. Now for the explaining of the Thadal itself. If thou canst gather together a grand offering, offer it in worship of the Trinity. If such cannot be done, then arrange whatever can be gathered together as objects on which thou canst concentrate thy thoughts and mentally create as illimitable an offering as possible and worship. Then the path of good wishes, invoking the aid of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, should be recited 7 times or thrice. And I already did that, so I'm not going to do it again unless you want to hear it. I wouldn't mind reading it again if you wanted to hear it. If you don't want to talk, that's fine. I'm not really big on views and thumbs up. I'm just concerned about my message getting out there, and I like the flow of the way I'm doing it. So I'm not really worried about thumbs up, but if you don't want to talk, you can always just give me a thumbs up and let me know if you want me to read that part of it. It's another part. It's like the whole ritual that you have to do, and it's 2 pages. See Appendix PP 197 through 208. But I only read the first part. I only wanted to read the first part. It was too emotional to read the rest in the appendix. We each of these chiefs' Bardo prayers or paths or good wishes is translated. Cf. the 2 following passages. The first from the Book of the Craft of the Dying. Wow. The Book of the Craft of the Dying. I never even heard that one yet. So I just heard it now. The Book of the Craft of Dying. I guess that's what that is in the back. Yeah, that's what that is in the back that I was reading. Where am I at? Last of all, it is to be known that the prayers that follow may conveniently said upon a sick man that laboureth to his end. And if it is a religious person, then when the covet, i.e. covet, is gathered together, which smiting of the table, as the manner is, then shall be first the litany with the psalms and orisons that he used therein, therewith. Let me reread all that because I chopped all that up. Last of all, it is known that the prayers that follow may be conveniently said upon the sick man that laboureth is his end. And if the religious person, there when the covenant is gathered together, when smiting of the table, as the manner is, then shall be said, first the litany, with the psalms and the orisons that he used therewith. Afterward, if he live yet, let some man, this is, about him say, the orisons that follow herein. As the time of the opportunity will suffer, and they may be often rehearsed again to recite the devotion of the sick man, if he has reason and understanding with him. And if the sick man or woman may nor cannot say the orison and prayers before said. Some of the assistants, i.e. bystanders, ought to say them before him with a loud voice, the changing of the words there as they ought to be changed. And this is from The Craft of the Well to Die. After all these things, he, a person dying, ought to say 3 times, if he may, these words that follow. Where? What words? Okay. Page 73. I don't see nothing. Okay. Just get right back into it. So I have to keep losing my place, don't I? Every time I veer off. Now, words that follow. Intermediate state. This one is part 1, Bardo of the Dying. Intermediate state, intermediate state, and third, the methods of closing the door of the womb while the intermediate state when seeking rebirth. Part 1, the Bardo of the moments of death. Instructions of the symptoms of death, or the first stage of the Chaka, Bordeaux, Chakai, Bordeaux, the primary clear light seen in the moment of death. The first, the setting face to face with the clear light during the intermediate state of the moment of death is here. Some there may be, who have listened much to religious instructions, yet not recognize. And some who, though recognizing, are nevertheless weak in familiarity. That was me. But all classes of individuals who have received the principal teachings called guides, too, will, if this be applied to them, be set face to face with the fundamental clear light, and without the intermediate state, they will attain the unborn Dharma Kaya in the great perpendicular path. The first Bardo in the Chaka Bardo, the second the Shineid Bardo, the third the Sitpa Bardo. See page 85. I've seen that. Okay. Yargai Shing Thao Chin Pa, the great straight upward path. One of the doctrines one of the doctrines peculiar to Northern Buddhism is the spiritual emancipation, even Buddhahood. Buddhahood. Oh, I had to read that over, Tina. Oh, man. Buddhahood. Buddhahood. I'm about to say it right. Buddhahood. Buddhahood. Okay. One of the doctrines particular to Northern Buddhism is the spiritual emancipation of the Buddhahood. May be won instantly, without entering upon the Bardo plane, and without further suffering on the age-long pathway to normal evolution, which traverses the various worlds of samsaric existence. That was a mouthful. A lot of big words and a lot of funny things. I think I'm going to have to reread it. Sorry. But it comes with the way to put it in there, you know what I mean? If you mess up anything, that's it. It doesn't pertain. It doesn't get in there. One of the doctrines peculiar to Northern Buddhism is that spiritual emancipation, even Buddhahood, may be won instantaneously, without entering upon the Bardo plane, and without further suffering on the age-long pathway of normal evolution, which traverses the various worlds of samsaric existence. The doctrine underlies the whole of the Bardo Thal. Faith is the first step of the secret path. Then comes illumination, and with it, certainly, and when the goal is won, emancipation. But here again, success implies very unusual proficiencies in yoga, as well as much accumulated merit or good karma, or the part of the devotee. If the discipline can be made to see and to grasp the truth as soon as the Guru reveals it, that is to say, if he has the power to die consciously, and at the supreme moment of quitting the body can recognize the clear light which is drawn upon him then, and become one with it, all samsaric bonds of illusion are broken asunder immediately. But here again, success applies. Very unusual proficiencies in yoga, as well as much accumulated merit or good karma in the part of the devotee. If the disciple can be made to see and grasp the truth as soon as the Guru reveals it, this is to say, he has the power to die consciously, and at the supreme moment of quitting the body can recognize the clear light which will be drawn upon him then and become one with it. All sinceric bonds of illusion are broken asunder immediately. The dreamer is awakened into reality simultaneously with the mighty achievement of recognition. Okay, so we're going to continue with the bigger text of the page on the opposite page, and we left off there. Read the last sentence. But all classes of individuals who have received guides apply to them face to face. Okay, yeah. The first of the settings face to face with clear light during the intermediate state of moment of death is here. Some there may be who have listened much to religious instructions, yet not recognized, and some who are, though recognizing, are nevertheless weak in familiarity. But all classes of individuals who have received the practical teachings called guides to will, if this is applied to them, be set face to face with the fundamental clear light, and without the intermediate state, they will attain the unborn Dharmakaya by the great perpendicular path. The manner of application is, it is best if the Guru from whom the deceased received guiding instructions can be had. But if the Guru cannot be obtained, then the brother of faith, or if the latter is an unobtainable, then a learned man of the same faith, or should all these be unattainable, then a person who can read correctly and distinctly ought to read this many times over. Thereby, the deceased will be put in mind of what he had previously heard in the settings face to face, and with at once come to recognize the fundamental light of undoubtedly attain liberation. As regards the time for the application of these instructions, when the expiration hath ceased, the vital force will have sunk into the nerve center of wisdom, and the knower will be experiencing the clear light of the natural condition. Then the vital force being thrown backwards and flying downwards through the right and left nerves, the intermediate state momentarily dawns. The above directions should be applied before the vital force hath rushed into the left nerve, at first having traversed the navel nerve center. The time ordinarily necessary for this moment of the vital force is as long as the inspiration is still present, or about the time referred for eating a meal. Then the manner of application, the instructions of the instructions is I'm going to stop there and I'm going to reread that in a minute. I'm going to go back here and read this little small print over here on this side. I don't want to get too far. I think I want to keep on the same page with these. A dreamer is waking. Let me see if anybody commented there. I'm busy reading. Hey, got a second wheel. All right. We're reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And reading little writing, so my eyes are kind of tired. And two, I've been reading for a long time. But I will succeed, darn it. I'll get done with it and I'll know it. Then it'll go up in here. Even if I don't know the words. Or what the words mean. I'll figure it out along the way. Feel it. I'll feel it out. Alright, let's go. Sorry. Trying to figure out where I was at. Give me a moment. Oh, I was gonna read the bottom of this page. That's what I was gonna do. Dreamer is awakened into reality simultaneously with the mighty achievement of recognition. Here is elsewhere in our text, nerve center refers to the psychic nerve center. The psychic nerve center of wisdom is located in the heart. Shepa, mind, knower, i.e. mind, in its knowing or cognizing functions. Now, the doll is devoid of formality or devoid of formative activity, i.e. the mind, in its natural or primal state, the mind in its unnatural state, that is to say, when incarnate in a human body, is because of the driving force of the five senses, continuously in thought formation activity. Its natural and discarnate state is a state of oh man, I'm gonna butcher this one. Quiescence, comparable to its condition in the highest of deep meditation. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that one. When still united to the human body. Gosh, it's hard stuff. Devoid of formative activity, i.e. the mind, in its natural or primitive state. The mind in its unnatural state, that is to say, when the incarnate in a human body, is because of the driving force of the five senses, continuously in thought formation, activity. Its natural or discarnate state is a state of quiescence, it looks like quiescence, comparable to its condition of the highest or recognition of the clear light, introduces an ecstatic condition of the consciousness, such as saint and mystic of the West, have called illumination. My eyes getting tired. Okay, let's move it along. And I'm just going to continue reading from that little small print here. When this text first took form, the reckoning of time was apparent, yet primitive, mechanical, time-keeping appliances being unknown. A similar condition still prevails in many parts of the Tibet, where the period of the mealtime is frequently mentioned in old religious books. The period of from 20 minutes to half an hour of duration. Oh, I need to sit up now. Oh. Okay, let me just reread this here. When this text first took form, of the reckoning of time was apparently yet primitive, mechanical, time keeping appliances being unknown. A similar condition still prevails in many parts of Tibet, where the period of mealtime is frequently mentioned in old religious books. A period of from 20 minutes to a half hour of duration. The dying person should die fully awake and keenly conscious of the process of death. Hence, the process of the arteries, thala. Its meaning is medium nerve, but lit, trijunction, gives goops to the text, may refer to the vibration motions of the psychic force traveling the medium nerve as it channels. That was by a person named Mama Kazi Dawa Sandap. Dove may also mean throwing away or throwing out with reference. Let me stop there. Let me see. With reference to the ongoing of the consciousness in the process of death. S.G. Antal Bahari, Grosh, Oshkosh Begosh. I'm rich, and I buy Oshkosh Begosh and Ralph Lauren diapers. Try to throw a little bit of fun there. I think I'm going to take a break for a minute. My eyes are getting tired. They're starting to get dried out, and I need to blink a little. Sorry. But this is something trying to get through this, let me tell you. So I hope you're having a fine night amongst yourself there. Hopefully you have a vice throughout all this, you know. If you do, I hope you get rid of it soon, like I plan to. That way you can follow me. And we can go put our magical powers together. Be in 15 million places at one time and run with it. Run with it. It'd be awesome. I wonder if you're a guy or a girl. Let me see if I can guess. I want to pick up a girl, actually. But then I don't know. Could be a tomboy. Ooh. I guess. What happened? Did it fall out? Okay. It fell out. Sorry about that. Not my fault. I have it at 420 HP so that even though it's all grainy and stuff, at least you can hear me and see me somewhat without it buffering, you know. So it shouldn't be buffering. Yeah, and the Wi-Fi is running great. Oh, I'm just going to collect my butt here and situate because my butt hurts. I'm sitting here. Oh. So I'm Nunya, in case you don't know. I'm sure you probably do. You're probably an observer. It's just sitting there watching me. You already knows who I am. But anyway, I'm Nunya, and welcome to your channel. And I'm going to keep spewing this out every chance I get because I think it's important that you guys, you know, look up in the channels and see what you're going for, what you know. And what do you know? Throughout my life, I knew of caring is sharing, you know. I knew that something was off about everything with church. I get these weird feelings. And then find out that something happened to somebody or, you know, about that person. I would have, you know, like I would get some kind of a signal from them, I guess. You know, like it's not really a signal, but it's empath, you know. I just touch base with their feelings easy with other people. Other people have an easy time talking to me. So yeah, go explore, you know, sometime and see what you may want to pursue. And by all means, this is creating, so help us, you know, help humanity. You know, make your creation, post it on YouTube. You don't have to post your face. You know, your information don't have to be correct in YouTube. Nobody has to know who you are. Just turn off your location. Whenever you're taking pictures or videos, just show us what you got, you know, because somebody can probably learn off of it. And if you are creating, good job. Awesome. That's what it takes. And it could be any kind of creating, really. I mean, a lot of people say how, you know, damning, you know, these phones are and how damning games are. But, you know, really there's a lot of games that do teach, you know. And there's a lot of games that are fun. I just like to watch people play and, take a chill pill for a change. And sometimes it does relate to what's going on, like with Destiny 2, with Chaos Gaming. He's playing Destiny 2, and it kind of reminded me of the turmoil that's going to happen later with all these magical creatures and stuff. And I know that's probably not what it's going to be. It's probably going to be worse than that. Not with mystical creatures, but, I'm not for sure. I know it's not going to be like anything we have ever seen before, or maybe we've never seen anything like this. And it's going to be pretty big, whatever it is. And I don't know. That's what I plan on seeing. But I'm going to be on the outside because that's where I plan. That's why I'm reading, so I can get through this and get to where I need to be and go with it. And don't worry, this will be gone. Hey, second wheel. Appreciate you stopping in. Just talking to first wheel here about this channel. I created it basically for the YouTube community here. I got plucked out of, I forget where, Wayne or Jeff's conversation, and I was kind of mature for that, in my own. I didn't need it anymore. So somebody seen that and they plucked me out and brought me here, and I was able to thrive here. I have been on the outside looking in to people's chats, and I tried to comment a few times about things that, I felt were wrong, or, and try to help people on the outside, but that didn't work out very well because they aren't, of the know. And I really wanted to help. Sorry, there's a bar next door, and they're kind of loud. But anyway, it's kind of got plucked here, and I loved it. I was able to speak and to bring out ideas and, of my own, and then verify that with those channels that I got up there. And I thought to myself, within the first 2 days, my no came in and kind of told me what I was supposed to be doing. So I started collecting people, and I started thinking that everybody loved the Nunya name, Nunya Business, Nunya, hey, love that name. So, hey, doesn't mean nothing to me. So I'll give it, and I'll be here, and I'll welcome, and I'll try to guide, and, this is my job. This is my sector. Positive Movement has her sector. These are the things that are coming into me through my no, and I keep waking up further and further. And I can't wait to get to the next step. The last one was remembering a past life, but not really remembering it as an obtain. It was more like a no, like I just knew this person. Her name was Anya. She's in the subscriptions up there. She's really good at chakras and all that, and rooting. That feeling of whenever you have that out of body initially, your soul kind of separates, and your body is kind of, trying to catch up to it, and that's the 10,000 thoughts that are running around, and you're trying to land, and I'm having trouble with landing, and so I was brought to her, but then I knew her from a different life, and I know I did, and she felt it too. So we were pretty close in another life. I didn't know if it was twin flames, but it was pretty strong, I think. And she kind of opened up that thought process, of maybe I know other people that I've been running into over and over and over again. You may have found that yourself, where you're running into people over and over and over again. There's reasons for that, I think. And my thought is that we've known them in different lives, and we just don't know, but we get that feeling that we know them, like we're drawn to them for a reason. What is the reason? Why are we drawn to anybody? It's because we know them, I would think. I mean, I know my parents and I know friends. I don't just go up to anybody and say, something to somebody unless I'm initiated, to do so. As far as the no tells me, to go up to that person and say this or that. And I've done that before with the no in my earlier life. Whenever I was in college, there was a gal who was getting beat up by her husband, and I didn't know this at the time. I just walked into the bathroom and went and did my business and was washing my hands, and I mean, it was screaming at me to tell her that she don't have to take that. That she can come live with me if she wants. And I'm just like, no, I'm not offering my house, to some stranger in the bathroom. And I don't know this person. I don't even know if they're going through that. I'm not saying that. Do it. Say it. Like really powerful no coming in there. Just like pushing me to say it. And I knew it was of good. I knew that. You tend to know the voices, and you're not supposed to listen to them all the time, but you tend to know the good ones, because they're pretty prominent, and the knowledge of what what flows out of you, what resonates with you, what is true to you. So I said it to her. She said, "How do you know?" She stopped crying, and she came out finally. And it took her about a half hour to an hour to come out. But she finally came out, and she asked me, how did I know? And I said, I don't know. Something was just telling me. And I just wanted to put my heart out to you, and help you. And I feel that you need help in any way possible. And that's why I said something. So we became really good friends. Unfortunately, it didn't work out because I'm not good with friends. So, never have been. Uh, yeah, some way, in some shape, I either screw it up or they screw it up or something happens. So, I just tend to fly on my own here. So, I had no one throughout all this process. So, I came to talk to people, because you get alone. And then I figured, well, if I'm having this trouble with finding analytical help, then others must be having trouble with finding analytical help. I mean, it's pretty hard by yourself. I even tried in my own community and it didn't work out. They wanted something and I wanted something, but I'm already giving. So why do I have to provide something to get something if I'm providing to this cause? I didn't get it. So that didn't pan out to me. So I won't be going back there, I don't think, and I'll be just using my community to analyze. And sometimes that's why I get on, is just to sit down and just, chill with my people here, and just chat, read books, discuss them, and really get down to business of what is real here. What is real here? Because the mirror world out there is not real to me anymore. It totally flipped and did a mere freaking dark side of the mirror. There's people out there that I loved and cared about at one time, and they're hateful now. It's just so thick and so everlasting in thickness that it's sickening to see. So I'm here because it's not so sickening to me here. But I'm waking up people along the way, planting my seed, trying to wake people up, telling them that the Bible is not what it seems. You need to go look at it in Bible Hub, and read it in the interlinear version of it. Just take King James, just bring it up, Genesis, start at the beginning, just bring it up and just look in the interlinear and just start reading it as it is in the original language. I tell them, and you'll see what I'm talking about. They're deceiving you. Everything, it ties in. Everything ties in. You're being duped. Big time. You're being duped. And it's the most major thing that you ever had in your lifetime. You want to talk about a possession. That is the biggest possession that you have, is yourself, your essence. And these people are trying to take that away from us, and that isn't right. So yeah, we got to get out there and save as many people as we can this time around. They may not make it, and they may have to repeat, like that book says. I don't know. I don't think anybody really even knows, because I think that's for our Creator to know. Myself, just like His name. I don't think that, we ought to say it, because we can't. It's not in our tongue. It's in a different tongue. And people keep saying God, and you're praying to a God, and you're making yourself pray to this God being. You're calling a name, and you're inviting it into your life, and it's infesting, and it's threading into yourself. Who knows where it came from? From man. Probably some creep, probably some pedophilia, you know? Who knows? Sickening. So why even say a name anymore? And the Tao backs me up on that, I read the Tao, and I've been feeling this way before I even woke up about names. I was possessed one time, or oppressed. Whole writing on the arm and everything. I don't know what it said, because, I can't see. But haunting big time. And my mama, claimed me. And that was that. And I just stopped just naturally just stopped saying a name in my prayers. I just kind of just thought, and just had a conversation really in my own head. Kind of like, I hope everything's going okay there. I hope everything's going okay down here, type thing. Little did I know, I just needed to hand it something, and that was it. I mean, I believe in handing him your problems, like letting the stress and giving that stress and giving the negativity to him. I did believe in that. But as far as to how simple it was, because I thought I had to say this whole prayer, and talk a long time. No, you stay silent. No, you stay silent. See, I always thought that was wrong too. But it just didn't know. I didn't know none of this stuff. So, I don't know if I can read anymore, man. I'm getting tired. My eyes are tired. I thought I could stretch through it here. I thought I could rant a little and go right back into it, but it's just a lot. I'll get up, I'll go to sleep, I'll meditate, because I really gotta meditate too. And I'm tired, and I love to hang with you and read you the darn book, but I just can't do it. My eyes are blurring up, and my contacts are dry. I just feel tired, and I feel wore, so I need to take care of myself now at this point. And you keep going in and out. I hope it's not buffering on you. But yeah, go check out the channels up there and see if you are interested in something. You might be, channels in Nunya's channel here. I know you have your own, but you can collect, and there's a wide variety of people, good people, that will help, that will take their time and go through things and explain it to you. And if they have time, like the ones who don't have a lot of people in there to cloud up the chat room, you know what I mean? And I found people like that who are learning, like their trade, they're like in the early learning process, like 6 months old into the trade. Now it doesn't say that they're not experienced, because they are experienced. People who dealing tarot cards would have to be experienced for a long, long time in order to know what cards they are and know what they mean, and the different ways that it's put, like upside down, or right side up. And there's a lot to learn with that. So they're pretty knowledgeable. If they're holding up cards and they're not even looking, to read hardly. I'm sure that the answers are on the back, but still, you know, to read it in fluent, you know. That's what I'm talking about. Kind of like, I don't know. I'm getting tired. But I hung out as long as I could, and I hope you find what you are looking for there, and I hope you have a great night. And if you are one of us, and oop, gone, smash, boom, oh, there you are again. Keep going in and out. Well, I was just gonna say, if you know Just a Human, if you've seen him about, let me know, because I'm looking to find out, make sure he's okay, still here with us, or if he went somewhere else and decided to leave. So, no, nothing. Okay. I didn't know if you were like one of my observers that don't talk until I ask a serious question or not. So I will. I guess I'll see you on the flip side. And you have fun in everything that you do.